Despite concerns expressed by NDCAP members and by the community at NDCAP meetings, the NRC moved rapidly ahead to approve the license transfer last month. The NRC did so despite Holtec's refusal to enter into discussions with the Commonwealth or with the host community regarding its commitments to environmental protection, emergency planning support, and site redevelopment. In addition, the NRC approved the transfer absent a full hearing of the contentions filed by the Massachusetts Attorney General and Pilgrim Watch regarding Holtec's financial integrity and its ability to finance a complete decommissioning of the plant without taxpayer support.
I stand here to tell you how concerned I am about my disappointment in regards to the way that the NRC dealt with us through this process. I tried to be reasonable. I tried to share my concerns. Not too long ago, I had a meeting along with my colleagues at the state and local level, state, local, and federal level, to ask the NRC in regards to some concerns that we had in regards to the trust fund and how that process would go, and giving us an explanation. I was told by the NRC at that time, along with my colleagues, you need to put that request in writing, and we will get you this information. Of course, that information was in regards to what would happen if there was not enough money in the trust fund to finish, and who would be liable. Would it be the Commonwealth of Massachusetts? Would it be the town of Plymouth? Would it be the licensee? A pretty simple question, I believe. Probably about a month and a half later, I received a letter telling me from the NRC, thank you for writing this letter, but I'm sorry we can't answer that question because there's been a request to intervene and for a hearing, a license transfer amendment application for the Pilgrim plant, and we have to be impartial, so we can't answer the question. However, you told me to write you a letter, and now I get a letter back. This is just another example of how disappointed we are with the process.
I think what really needs to change at this point, and this is the lesson that I learned from this the last couple of months, is you really need to at least fake it. At least fake the fact that you've got an Attorney General, well respected by both parties in this Commonwealth, that filed a motion to ask for you at least to hear her out. You had Pilgrim Watch send a motion to at least hear you out. You could have at least had the hearings, and I think that's the lesson I want to bring back to Congress, is don't close the loop on anything you decide to do until you hear everyone out.
Asking for time, asking for additional consideration went by the board. And it just shocked me that people on the federal level could do that to us. And going back to the community, we're beginning anew. We have a nuclear plant here, we have spent fuel here, and as previous speakers have said, we have to deal with it. So the road is not over for us, but boy, I'll tell you, my respect for the federal government, for the Congress right now, and the rules that we're actually governed by right now, scare the living daylights out of me.
The system, the entire system, the regulations, the policies, the practices are rigged in favor of the nuclear power industry. As I'll describe, the outcome of the license transfer, decommissioning, and exemption approvals was known to the companies involved well before the decision was made, almost down to the exact date. That is the very definition of the word rigged.
The fact that you're here after the license transfer was approved once again demonstrates that the NRC continues to abdicate their responsibilities when it comes to protecting the local communities.
The entities, the vertical entities of government through which you should be hearing, the local, the regional, the state, and the federal, all have been knocking at the door to be part of this process, and at this point have been disregarded and disrespected at a time when it is more important that employees of our government and elected officials try to embrace and involve and hear from our citizens. To be disregarded like this is simply another nail in the coffin of distrusting the process of government, of our democracy. And it cannot and will not stand.
Things like what's contaminating our shores is public information. They don't get to keep that to themselves. We need to deal with that. how are you going to evaluate whether Holtec's got enough money in the bank or not if you don't know what's in the ground? Do you? Do you know what's in the ground?
A decision was made, is based on facts. I'd like to see those facts. I can't advise people in this room and others on the panel until I have those facts. I can be the best supporter of the NRC, as I've tried to be over the years, or I can be the worst enemy. Don't make me be the worst enemy.
Not communication of any meaningful nature between the public and the NRC. Public safety, public interest in general, protection of public health and safety is something that has disappeared in the NRC. And instead, it is a captured industry by the industry. And it's clear. And what has made this clear, obviously, is approving the license transfer without providing the opportunity of hearings for the Attorney General representing the Commonwealth and from Pilgrim Watch, all of whom filed their contentions in a timely manner and following the rules of filing to a T. That is an insult.
You've made a mockery of environmental safeguards. You've awarded the license transfer to a company with zero decommissioning experience, dubious ethics, no transparency, and every incentive to do a quick and dirty job.